Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, this is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, thank you very much for joining us today. We are live streaming here out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, and we appreciate you being here and being a part of the show, whether you're watching on the Fox 12 Oregon app or however you're finding us live or not. Today, we are talking about the Tualatin Mountain Forest. Now, this is a forest that is just really near Forest Park, that has been purchased by Trust for Public Land at Oregon State University, among other organizations, to become a research forest. Now, I want to give you a show here just to show you on the map just a little bit of where this is at, just to get this idea, because when you hear Tualatin, you may think the city of Tualatin, and that's not actually where it is. The Tualatin Mountains actually run into Forest Park there on the north end, kind of the northwest end, and the Tualatin Mountain Forest is just northwest of that. So think more towards Scappoose, kind of across from Savage Island. So it's right up there near Holbrook, if you know where that is. But there, just to give that visual idea on the map of where it is that we're talking about. Now, this is some pristine forest, and this purchase now means it's going to retain that for, well, forever, really. And it's going to become part of the OSU research forests that they have. And that also means, though, that the public will maintain access. So there's a lot in there. There's a lot of details, but I wanted to give you that here just at the beginning so you could understand where this is. And to talk more about it, we spoke to Mitsu Iwasaki from the Trust for Public Land. He's the Northwest Director, and he told us just a little bit more about what this means, how this came about, and everything that goes into it. So let's go to that right now. Well, Mitsu, thank you very much for having time to talk to us today, to go through this. An exciting development for sure for everybody in the Portland area, but particularly there in Tualatin as well, but just what this is going to do for the forest. And I want to get into all that, but before we do, would you mind just telling us a little bit about, about your organization and what it is, and then maybe how this partnership with Oregon State and some of the other organizations came together?
Great, fantastic. Thank you so much for having us, Greg. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about TPL as well as the Tualatin Mountain Forest Project. So the Trust for Public Land, we are a national nonprofit working across America to connect people to the joys and benefits of the outdoors. We conserve land and create outdoor spaces. What that looks like on the ground is that we take privately held property and transfer it to public benefit, like we did at the Tualatin Mountain Forest. That's 3,100 acres of timberland that we've moved to OSU. In terms of creating parks and connectivity, we believe that everyone living in America should have access to high-quality outdoor spaces within a 10-minute walking distance from their home. So we're actively working to create parks or green spaces near where people live. In our 50 years of existence, we have conserved over 4 million acres of land, connected more than 10 million people to the outdoors. Here, closer to Oregon, we've been working here since 1979. Our first projects were in the Columbia River Gorge, conserving about 17,000 acres. With the addition of Tualatin Mountain Forest, I believe we have completed roughly 200 projects and conserved nearly 150,000 acres. So a lot of acres and a lot of projects, and some of those include the land underneath Miller's Landing Park, that amazing water park in downtown Portland. We also last year a few years ago, completed Spence Mountain near Klamath, which added both opportunities for mountain biking and to the recreation economy down there. So yeah, that's what we do.
That's a lot of projects that are being worked on there, but obviously good for the public is that for access to all of this and maintaining, that natural land that we love here in the Northwest. Tell us about the Tualatin Mountain and how this project came about.
Yeah, so with the Tualatin Mountain Forest, we saw an opportunity to conserve one of the last large forest blocks near Portland, or upland forest blocks around Portland, in the lower Columbia River. And we, simply felt it was important for future generations. It's an investment in wildlife habitat and migration corridors. It's about protecting water for fish and for people. And it's important, really, from a perspective of health and well-being for communities around Portland. We're so grateful. OSU agreed to be the stewards of the land forever as a research forest and for public access. Everything we do is in partnership, and it's really informed by surrounding communities. So this project, Tualatin Mountain Forest, took about 5 years to transfer those lands. And our role within these projects is often to bridge the complexities of timing and needs of the land seller, the land purchaser, and funding. Landowners have timing and needs, and buyers have timing and needs, and assembling the funds to purchase such a large block of land can be complicated and challenging, right? So, that's funding from, in this case, from Metro, federal government, state government, private philanthropy. All of those things have to line up in terms of timing to actually make it happen, and that's the role that we play.
Yeah, it sounds incredibly complicated to manage that, let alone then you have all the financial institutions on top of that. I mean, that's a lot. But this project is completed. And so with this now becoming part of the research forests that OSU has and some of the other things that are going to be taking place there, what is this going to mean for the people of that area and really beyond here in the Northwest?
Yeah, I can't speak to how OSU will manage it, but I do know that it is about working forest. It will add to a great deal of research around how we manage working forests with sensitive habitats as well as recreation opportunities. When I think about recreation opportunities, and they'll open it when they're ready for broader public access. I know that they need to put together a well-developed forest management plan and a recreation management plan and resource that. And so that we'll know when they're ready to open it. But from a recreation standpoint, I think since 2016-ish, outdoors have the demand for outdoor opportunities, recreation opportunities have continued to increase, right? The Outdoor Industry Association puts together a report annually, and in 2023, we saw that participation in outdoor activities grew by another 4%. What that really translates to is about 175 million Americans. So about 57% of the population regularly spend time outside. So this property, because it has about 40 miles of trails for mountain biking and for hiking and just outdoor recreation, it adds to that need. For parks and outdoor recreation spaces for folks around Portland. We also, the Trust Report Plan, we published some findings around research we did around social cohesion. And we've learned that parks contribute to social cohesion. We're likely to talk to people we normally otherwise wouldn't talk to within parks. And in our top 25 parks or cities, we see that 26% more connections are happening between low and high income individuals. So social connectivity, recreation opportunity, protecting habitat and water for the folks around Portland.
I think that's really fascinating, the social connectivity idea of that too, because everybody wants to go out there and enjoy those forests, but that interaction that can happen there, that's honestly not something I had thought about. That's certainly a benefit you would think from that study. When it's, to clarify just a little bit of this too, for questions that people may have. So does this essentially mean that Tualatin Mountain Forest area, there won't be any development on there as far as residential, commercial, that kind of thing, that this is going to maintain that forest as it is and then utilized in whatever research capacity that Oregon State will be doing?
Exactly. That 3,100 acres will not be developed for housing, for anything. It is a research forest under the care and stewardship of OSU.
And for those wondering too, we actually did a segment with Oregon State just about research forests. So I'll just say this, if you're watching this for Fox 12 now, we've got a segment you can go take a look at where we went out with Oregon State and talked about some of those research projects that they do, but also maintaining it as a recreational area for people to utilize. At the end of the day, Mitsu, what do you think is the most important thing that people should know about this project in particular there with the Tualatin Mountain Forest?
Yeah, it's located 10 miles west of Portland, so it's really close by. It's right on the other side of Forest Park. It is a project in partnership with PPL, OSU, ODF, or Oregon Department of Forestry, Weyerhaeuser, and communities that came around to make this really happen. So I think it's a lovely example of how communities come together to do really complex projects for the benefit of communities around it. So folks ought to know that it's there. It's a resource for Portlanders, and a lot of folks and a lot of organizations put a lot of energy into making this happen.
Yeah, I think that what you just mentioned right there, I mean, because that's industrial, commercial, resident, that's everybody, research, private, everybody coming together to maintain something like that and to keep that available for all of us, really. That's pretty incredible. And for people who want to follow up with more information or learn more about it, what's the best way for them to do so?
That's a great question. Go to our website. It's got some blurbs around the Tualatin Mountain Forest, as well as some of the other projects that we've done around the Northwest. And click on the link, or even just email or call us, and we can share more about the project.
Perfect. Well, Mitsu, thank you very much for joining us here to walk through this and just to explain to everybody what's going on there with that and this really, really amazing project there that's happening for the benefit of everyone, really, and preserving some of that natural forest there. So thank you so much for being here on Fox 12 Now.
Great. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share a little bit about TPL and the Tualatin Mountain Forest, Greg. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thanks. All right, again, even though I said it there at the end, thank you to Mitsu for joining us for that, and just everybody from the different organizations that we spoke with in putting that story together. So again, the Tualatin Mountain Forest going to maintain that access or retain access for everybody, for the public use and side of things, but also part of that forest research. And I mentioned it in the interview, but we do have an extensive interview with Oregon State University where we went down to the McDonald and Dunn research forests to take a look at just how it is that they manage those, what some of the projects are that they're working on. It's really incredible, all while the public can be there as well. So pretty cool use case for everyone, really. And thank you for joining us here for Fox 12 Now. We have lots of coverage here throughout the afternoon. If there's ever breaking news, this is also where to go between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. We will be here with whatever that may be. So remember that. So download that Fox 12 Oregon app. Great way to keep up with everything that we are covering here. But I'll be back at 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30 here throughout the afternoon with brand new stories here for you. We'll take a break for right now. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.